A professional logo design document is a well organised one, and so now comes the time to arrange the elements of the logo into layers. So in the layers panel, I'm going to create 3 layers, one for the text, one for the symbol, and one for the tagline. So clicking in layer 1, I'm going to label this symbol, like so. Now at the bottom, I'm going to click create new layer. And I'm going to label this text. And the last, as mentioned, is going to be called tagline. Like so. Now I'm going to open up the original layer, which is this one, and I'm going to drop in the elements relating to each. So from here, I can identify the shapes of the text. I can see that this is part of the main text, as are all the letters beneath. So holding Shift, I can highlight all of those and drag these shapes into the text layer. I also have a shape here pertaining to the main text, so I drag this in also. Now I can see the tagline is here, so dragging that into the tagline layer, like so. Now lastly, there's also 2 ellipses here in the symbol layer, and these are the 2 circles at either side of the tagline. So selecting these, holding Shift, we drag these also into the tagline layer. With that done, I can now go about naming each element in each layer. So to click upon this first, we can see that this is the note shape of the symbol. So I'm going to label this note. Next shape down is the sound wave. So I'm going to label this sound wave like so. So closing the symbol layer, opening up the text layer, I'm going to label this R, the next E, the next N, O, T, U, and a capital T. Now the next thing I'm going to do is arrange these letters so that they read true tone from top to bottom. So clicking upon the T, dragging up, we have T, R, U, E, T, O, N, and E. So with that arrangement, we can immediately identify letters within that line of text. So now we're going to do the same with the tagline. So expanding the tagline layer. Now, if we highlight one of the bullet points at either side of the tagline, we can see which bullet point it is in the layers panel. You'll see a green box has appeared here to indicate the selected art. So I'm going to label this bullet point, or bullet for short, bullet right. So this tells me it's the bullet on the right hand side, and of course the other is the bullet on the left hand side, labeling this bullet left, like so. Right, the word amplification is actually grouped at the moment, so I'm going to expand that. As you can see, this is an N, so I'm going to label this an N. O, I, T, A, C, I, F, I, L, P, M, and finally A. So as I'm arranging these letters for the sake of saving time, this video is now speeded up. Now with that done, I now want to group everything. So starting with the tagline, I want the bullet points to be grouped with the actual text of the tagline so that I can handle it in a singular manner. So highlighting everything, going to Object and Group. You see we have the singular group here in the Layers panel. And we can name this tagline again if we so wish. So moving on to the main text, I'm going to highlight that, go to Object Group. And you'll see the group in the text layer, and I'll call this text also. Highlighting the 2 elements of the symbol, if we go to Object, you'll see that it's already grouped, and this should reflect in the Layers panel here, as we see group. I'm going to call this symbol also. So with that done, this document is now professionally prepared. The user can now easily identify groups of elements, the elements within the groups because they're named appropriately, and thanks to the colour coding, green, red and blue in this case, we can also identify the elements as we select them on the artboard.